Okay. Well, we're obviously closing in on the biggest game of the year, so a couple more days here of preparations to wrap things up on the Titans. But as I said, this is real good football team. Do a lot of things well. Very very explosive on offense, and tough group to stop. But we're looking forward to the opportunity and the challenge. And as I said, we got a couple more days here to wrap things up, and we're going to use all our time. We need it, and try to put everything together the best that we can to be ready to go.
We have microphones for questions. Raise your hand. We'll pass the microphone to you if you have a question. Reese?
Bill, over the last 3 years working with Stephon Gilmore, what have you observed from him in terms of how he bounces back from whether it's a bad play or a game that he feels like wasn't up to his usual standard?
Yeah, Steph's a very consistent player. His performance, his preparation, his effort. So I see the same thing from him week in and week out, day in and day out.
What have you seen from him in terms of his accountability to his teammates?
What I've seen from him?
Observed over 3 years, just in terms of how he approaches himself, holds himself to a standard.
Yeah, he works hard. He always tries to do what's best for the team. I mean, I think everybody has total respect for his commitment to the football team and his effort and dependability. Put me at the top of that list.
Back over here.
Bill, have you found over the years there's a best way in terms, especially with young players, you have a lot of first and second year players, of getting them past a loss and getting them only to think about the very next game? What is the best strategy for that, have you found?
Yeah, I just try to do what's best for our football team each week and each day of each week. So that's what I've done. That's what I'll try to continue to do. Every player, every situation, every game's different. They're not the same. So just try to do what I feel like is best each week.
Henry McKinnon.
Bill, with all the history that you and Tom have, is it strange to think that it's at least possible this could be your last game together?
Yeah, we're focused on the Titans. That's all I'm focused on. So do everything we can to get ready to go and play the best game we can play Saturday night.
Bill Perry.
Bill, the Titans use quite a bit of multiple tight end sets offensively. I think they've had every game this year, they've had at least 3 tight ends play 10 or 12 snaps, somewhere in that range. What's the biggest challenge of facing an offense that can roll out that many players at that position relatively consistently?
Yeah, well, I mean, they usually play situationally. So you don't usually see all 3 of them in the game together. It happens a handful of plays, but not that often. And then you can see Smith on any down, but he doesn't play as much on third down. But he plays some. And so, I'd say they use him kind of based on the package that they're in, the personnel group that they're in. They don't just, rotate him in and out on every play where all 3 guys do the same thing.
Is there a challenge in trying to determine, okay, this player is actually sort of like a fullback on this play versus a tight end in terms of what you guys, or how you view it?
Yeah, they do a good job of, in their 12 personnel, they do a good job of using multiple formations and multiple roles for those guys, yeah. So 12 can be 21, 12 can be 11, 12 could be 12. The conventional 12 looks, yep. So we have to identify that. I mean, that's fairly common. We've seen that, I don't know, probably 8, 10 games this year, some version of it, depending on who the players are. But it's a good way to present multiple attacks on the defense without having to change personnel. And they do that with the running back too. Henry's in there a lot. Lewis is in there on third down some, but again, Henry can be in there and they can do everything they want to do. So they kind of do the same thing with him too.
T. McBride.
Coach, what has stood out to you about Harold Landry's play when you watch them on film?
He's really had a good year. He's fast, quick off the ball. He's got good length, can turn a corner. He's made a lot of good edge plays, and with Casey inside and some of the blitzes that they run inside keeps the quarterback from stepping up, and of quarterback can't step up, then that brings the edge rushers into play. Edge rushers force the quarterback up. That brings the inside rush into play. So they have a good complement of between their pressure, their players, and their scheme. It combines to be effective.
Coach, obviously the loss to the Dolphins was a tough one. Can you use that as motivation for the team? And in some ways, do the Patriots feel like underdogs?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what we are or aren't. Doesn't matter. We're just trying to get ready for the Titans. Play our best game on Saturday night. So,
Is that a motivating factor you can use after a loss?
we're past last week. Past every week. This is a 1 week season. That's it.
Henry McKinnon?
Bill, with Landon Roberts catching that touchdown last week, I wondered what you remembered about Mike Vrabel as a pass catcher.
Yeah, good. Mike got a lot of production for us.
Any, I mean, I guess it's probably silly to ask, but any resemblance between Landon and Mike? That transition?
I mean, they're both defensive players. Landon's played in the backfield. Mike played on the line. But they both played defense.
Bill Ferry?
Bill, I'm just curious. We've seen you over the years, whether it's NFL films or if we happen to see it on the sidelines during games, where you'll actually meet with a large group of players and coaches together during the game, knowing that that's not something that you could probably do all that regularly, realistically. How do you choose the right moments to share whatever you're trying to share with a group that large in a game?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I just try to, during the game, do what I can, do what I feel like is best to try to help our team. That's all I want to do is try to help our team win. So whatever that is, I'll try to do it.
Doug Kyed?
Bill, Johnny Smith has a lot of explosive plays at tight end. Is he a tight end that you might categorize as more of a big receiver than a traditional tight end?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't put him in that category. He's just a really good tight end. Can do a lot of things. Blocks well, runs well. He's a good receiver. Only played with tailback. Looked pretty good back there. So he's a very athletic player, hard to tackle, catches the ball well, great after the catch, probably best in the league. I mean, I can't imagine anybody better than him after the catch. No, he looks like a tight end to me, but and a good one.
Zach Cox?
Looks like Adoree Jackson is trending toward a potential return this week. What kind of boost would he give the Titans defense if he can get back out there this week?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to ask Mike that, what role he played, but I mean, he's obviously a very talented player. He also returns punts, so he could factor in there too, depending on, where they are with their other punt returners. Again, I don't know, it's really more of a question for Mike, but, he played against Dory in the past, very athletic guy, good ball skills, quick, runs well. He's a good player, obviously he would help any defense, so I'm sure they'd like to have him back. But what role he'd play, I don't know.
Mike Fury?
Bill, how much time do you spend with Tom going over mechanics? Obviously, he's sort of been particular about that for a long time. Is he kind of left to his own devices when it comes to that because he knows his own mechanics so well?
Yeah, I meet with the quarterbacks every week, and we talk about a variety of things, that being one of them, and other things. So I'd say weekly.
Any questions? Right. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, great. See you Saturday night.